Everyone, how's it going? I'm here in Toronto. I just want to give you an update of how the first couple days have been. This is a video about how I ate whatever I wanted for 7 days in a row. Just to give you a little backstory, I have been doing ADF. I've been fasting for around 45 hours, and then I have been tracking calories and counting calories. Tracking, counting, same thing. And I have been refeeding at around 2,500 calories and then essentially eating every other day, fasting every other day, and dropping weight over time. I think I lost 17 pounds, getting from 157 to 140. On day one, I hit my lowest weight in almost 10 months at 139.8, but that 130 pound mark is only going to be short-lived because that is when I started eating every day for the next 7 days. Why? Because I'm out on vacation, but my first day was still in Chicago. It was coming off of a 40-ish hour refeed, and I just want to talk to you through that day. So on day one, I went for my walk. I think I walked around 15,000 steps, 13,000 steps. I'll put the numbers up there. But did my walk, worked my normal day. Later in the evening, I refed, but it was basically the same refeeds. Even though I'm eating whatever I want for the next 7 days, I wanted to make sure that I still did it consciously, mindfully. So I'm gonna go and tell you all how I refed and how yesterday went. Currently today, as I'm talking to you, today is day 3. It's the morning. I just came back from, I think I walked 16,000 steps. Again, I'll show the numbers up there. But on day 1, it was just a typical refeed. I was still in Chicago. I had my normal Brussels sprouts, zucchini, that was cooked in oil. And then I made that lean ground turkey thing that I've been eating a lot of lately, an entire pound of ground turkey in tomato sauce. I added a pound of mushrooms. I added a ton of garlic and a ton of cherry tomatoes. I ate that on a bed of rice. I also had that brownie, the leftover brownies that I made. This is the brownie that I made with bananas and yogurt and peanut butter and cocoa powder and a couple other things. I know some people in the comments asked for a recipe. Let me try to perfect that recipe before I put an actual recipe out there. Maybe what I'll do is I'll make a separate video showing you how I made it. But that brownie was so much better after being in the fridge for 2 days because it was just a lot denser. And the macros on it aren't the best. I have been practicing a lot of low calorie, high volume eating. So even in the pasta with the rice, it's a ton of volume, ton of vegetables, right? And that's what adds the volume and it gives me that fullness. The brownie, while better macro wise, it's still up there. I think it was still 700 plus calories, but it was a lot of brownie. It was still a good amount of food. And I know that number can get toned down if I didn't use as much peanut butter, but that's something I'm gonna continue playing around with. So had that, and then I actually just ate, I think it was less than half a pint of this ice cream that was made in the Ninja Creami, and that was just made with, I think it was protein Fairlife milk, the chocolate milk with some chocolate protein powder. It was really good, had a really good thick ice cream texture, and this thing was less than 200 calories. To end the night, I had those tea biscuits, those digestives that I really like, and for the day, it was 2,700 calories. So even though I gave myself the opportunity to eat anything for the next 7 days, that is what I chose. That is what I wanted to eat. It wasn't the worst thing in the world, and even though maybe I wanted something like a burger or pizza or fries, this is something that really satiated me. That is what I wanted instead of just getting takeout for the sake of getting it. Just because I get to eat whatever I want doesn't mean I'm just gonna go insane. That is how my thinking used to be. And sometimes it'll be that way, but it's a lot better. And so I looked at that as a pretty successful day one. Now, for day two, the next day, which was yesterday for me, that is when I was leaving for Toronto. So the first thing I did when I woke up, because I had all those calories in me, is I went to the gym and I lifted heavy. That was the first thing that I did. I also knew that I probably would not have the opportunity to be lifting while I'm out here right now, because I'm gonna be out here for the next couple days. So I'm like, might as well take advantage, might as well lift. So I did that. And then I couldn't get the steps in because I had to get ready to get to the airport. And when I did get to O'Hare, I'm in this place where when I go to the airport, I am always looking to eat. That is something that has been done out of habit. And over time, it's gotten a lot better. I don't think of just eating and snacking just because I'm at the airport and I'm bored and it's a habitual type thing. It's something that I've learned to kind of start tapering off. And so to continue on with that, I think the only thing I had then was a Coke Zero. I got on the plane, still fasting throughout the day, and they gave a drink and either pretzels or a cookie. And I actually took the cookie because I love Biscoff cookies, but I didn't eat it. I said, you know what, let me hold it off until later. Had a Diet Dr. Pepper, got to Toronto, family, ordered Chinese food, brought it back to the house, and I ate just a bunch of random things that we ordered. I'm just looking through my notes here. So random meat with whatever sauce was used in it, chicken, beef. I did try to eat broccoli, tried to eat green beans, and I don't know what they put in the sauce. I don't know how much extra is in it. I tried to just give a rough estimate, and I'm just gonna share all of that with you after I talk about everything that I ate. But I saw that there were fruits in the house, so I ate some yellow mangoes, which were delicious. I didn't realize how creamy yellow mangoes were. It really tasted like there was something dairy in it, but wonderful. It's making my mouth water as I think about it. Had a bunch of strawberries, and I tried to call it. I tried to be like, okay, that's it, I'm done. Forgot about the Biscoff cookies, so I ate that. And then I was like, okay, I don't need any more, I'll be good. And there were these homemade empanadas, and I kept looking at them, and we're just hanging around, and I'm just like, so had a veggie empanada, then tried a pork empanada, and then ate another veggie empanada, and then I stopped. And then I think it was maybe an hour later, and there were these brownie bites. I don't know if I'm just on a brownie kick lately, but I had these brownie bites. They're these small ones, and I'm like, I'll just have one or two. I think I ended up eating 10 of them. I did not film every single one, but I think 10 is a good number. Should have kept count, but it is what it is. The total calorie count for the day I put here was around 4,500 calories. Now, that's an overestimate. I don't know if it's actually that. It doesn't really matter if it's on point. These are my 20% days where I'm not gonna be tracking as diligently as I normally would, but I wanted to still put some mindfulness into it, and that's exactly what I'm doing there. I mean, I think it's really important that you put mindfulness into what you're doing. It doesn't, I know there are days where I probably won't have that, but in a casual situation where we're just hanging around, I can at least just give myself a rough number or a rough estimate of what we're doing and kind of moving on from there. So, okay with that. And this morning when I woke up, and I guess I didn't really talk about the weight. So the weight after the first day of eating, when I just had 2,700 calories, I went from 139.8 up to 143.6. So up about 4 pounds. And then where I'm at right now, after eating everything last night and weighing this morning, 144.4. And this also goes to show, with as much as I ate and for it to just swing that little bit, sometimes the scale could just, I mean, here's the thing too, is I'm on a different scale Now, I'm using my portable scale, which is fine. And actually, the day that I left, I actually weighed myself on my normal scale and my portable scale, and both the weights showed up the same, but I'm at a different place. Maybe the wood floor here is different. I don't know, but it showed 144.4. It doesn't have to be exact. I'm not gonna ruin my mental because of it. And here's the thing, 144.4 is not the worst thing in the world. I got up this morning, I said, I only walked, I think, 6,000 steps the day before because I had to go to the airport. And this morning I walked 16,000 steps, and that's only this morning. It was a long walk. I had a ton of energy, and I was like, I might as well. I felt really good doing it. And the plan moving forward today, we have a family party today, and it starts in a couple hours. And I know I'm gonna be eating all day. I know it. I'm gonna try my best to not go crazy. That is the hope, that is the plan. And we'll see what the weight looks like tomorrow. So I'll keep you posted. All right, everyone, I'm just gonna give you a quick update for day 3. Today is day 4 right now. Yesterday there was a family party. It was my uncle's birthday, and it was great. Had a great time. It was nice to see family that I hadn't seen in a minute. And with family and family parties comes a lot of food, and there was a ton of Filipino food. I wasn't gonna record myself eating the entire day because there's just a lot of people around. I had a pretty big mix of food. I started to record a little bit of the food I was eating, had some salmon and rice and just lumpia, just a lot of random Filipino food. And then after breaking, I think it was like a 14-hour fast, again, I'll put all the stats up there, I just ate throughout the entire day. I think it was, when I hit my timer, I think I was 9-ish hours in. I ate way too much dessert. If I had to guesstimate calorie-wise, I mean, we're probably talking over 7,000 to maybe 9,000, 10,000, literally just snacking the entire day. That is obviously an issue. That is something that I need to be more mindful about. At the same time, I'm not beating myself up about it. I didn't binge in any kind of way. It wasn't just out of control. I can't help myself. And here's the thing. So I hit my timer last night after I was like, okay, I'm good. And then this morning when I got up, I immediately went for a walk. I ended up walking, I think I'm somewhere close to 12 or 13,000 steps, but I also walked, it was 2.5 kilometers or close to 3 kilometers to a Planet Fitness. So I'm a member at a Planet Fitness in Chicago. I have that black membership, and I had no idea that you could use it in Canada. So I went there, was able to actually get a good workout in. And this is what I mean. Just because I ate way over calories yesterday doesn't mean that I can't effectively use it today. And in combination of my cardio, going for a walk, walking 2.5 kilometers there, and then back, and then lifting heavy at the gym, it already sets me up in a way where I'm getting to use those calories. Yes, I'm gonna gain weight. It shows on the scale. I stepped on the scale today. I'm up again. I also know that I'm not up 6.5 pounds of fat. I know that's a lot of water intake. I know there's probably still waste on top of that, eating back-to-back days. But what I'm doing right now is I'm using those calories effectively. In essence, yes, even though I overate, I'm not feeling bad about it. And instead, I'm using it for what I can. And I think it's only almost 12 p.m. This is Chicago time here. Almost 12 p.m. here. And I still have a full day going downtown and sightseeing. And so I know I'll probably pull steps up to 20,000. And we'll see what eating's gonna look like today. Again, there's gonna be no real tons of tracking. I'm not gonna be that diligent about things because I'm on vacation. Today is day 5 of eating whatever I want. Is it day 5? Today is Monday, day 6. Yep, today's day 5. So let me give you a general idea of what day 4 looked like. Yeah, let's talk about what I ate on day 4. For me, I got a lot of walking in. I got a lot of walking in at the very beginning of the day, lifted weights, continued walking, and it was pretty hot here in Toronto. Around, I think 94 was the high. Today is pretty similar. I still think it's somewhere in the high or low 90s, which is pretty warm. I went for a walk this morning and the sun is out, so definitely a lot hotter. Here's the thing. Yesterday though, after working out, I ended up walking some more. Went to downtown Toronto and got shown around, went to see the CN Tower, went to see where the Raptors play, where the Blue Jays play, went to just go by the lake and just a lot of touristy stuff, I guess. And it was a lot of fun. I've been here before, but I don't think I had gone downtown, so it was nice to explore. And then we went to a place called St. Lawrence Market, and I tried something called a pea meal bacon sandwich. I ended up eating this I asked at the counter, what do people normally get with it? And they put orange marmalade on it. Never had anything like that in that combination, but orange marmalade, tomato, the pea meal bacon, and I think there was mustard. I can't remember. Either way, it was very good. I enjoyed it very much. And afterwards, had this Portuguese tart. It's a custard type deal. I've had something like this before, but I don't remember it ever being called a Portuguese tart. It was still very, very good. It was heavy, it was flaky. I enjoyed it very much. Later that day, I ended up having a beer. We went to stop somewhere for a beer and then walked around some more. And I think I had a iced coffee that I added oat milk and some sugar to it. I don't remember if I got video. You got to understand, I'm with people, and with people I don't see often. I'm not just going to be throwing my camera out every single moment. And then afterwards, I came back here. It was fairly late in the evening. I was trying to catch the end of the Pacer Thunder game, but I was still hungry because I ended up walking almost 30,000 steps that day. And it didn't even feel like 30,000 steps. I mean, that is how much energy I have had lately, walking as much as I do. I usually average somewhere between let's say 12 to 15,000 steps. And 30,000 steps really didn't seem like a lot, but I was so hungry. Maybe because I've been eating every day. So later in the evening, I started snacking on random food at the house here, and I ate a good amount of Filipino food, and then I just started snacking on Sun Chips because there are just a lot of snacks at this house, which is a real danger for me. And then my aunt made this, they call it food of the gods, food for the gods. Anyway, it's like this bakery dish that has like walnuts and dates in it. It's so good. I have been obsessed with this for the last 2 days. And then it was almost midnight and I should have just went to sleep. And then here in Canada, I don't think we have these in the States anymore, or at least standalone ones, but A&Ws. And the A&Ws here are 24 hours. And I went to one and I got a burger. It was like a Papa burger, which I think is just a double cheeseburger. And I got a 5-piece chicken tenders. And then I was pretty full after that. This morning when I got up, of course, I added some weight on the scale despite having 30,000 steps. And this is just a reminder that you can take all the steps in the world, but if your diet is not clean, you're going to have a hard time keeping the weight off. I'm not surprised the weight gain is to be expected. I know that, like I said, I'm not just putting on a bunch of fat. I know I'm gonna be holding water. Today's gonna be no different. It's close to noon, and I'm getting picked up and I'm going out for lunch, and I think we're going to have dinner tonight, and I'll probably be doing a lot more walking. I did walk this morning, but I only walked for, I think it was maybe 8,000 steps. But I know I'm gonna be walking more this afternoon, and we'll probably be doing a lot of eating in between. And then I'm here for another, well, I'm here for another full day tomorrow, and then I'm leaving Wednesday morning. So even though I'll be here technically on Wednesday, I'm gonna be going home to Chicago, and I think I'll probably be going out for dinner or doing something while I get myself back into ADF. So that is currently what day 5 is looking like for me. Just a reminder that I have been on such a caloric deficit over the last 30 some days, tracking my calories, doing ADF, that these days where I am eating and enjoying myself, I'm not too hard on myself because this was planned, this was prepared, and at the same time, I'm still going for a walk. Tomorrow, I'm going to the gym to lift weights. I lifted weights yesterday at the gym. I'm still working all my other levers despite the fact that I'm on vacation. It doesn't mean that I have to just do nothing. I mean, if I wanted to, I guess I could, but I'm active and I enjoy it. All right, everyone, so today is day 6 of eating whatever I want, but I wanna go ahead and talk to you about what day 5 looked like. Day 5 was a pretty active day, to say the least. So on day 5, I started off with, I think I maybe walked around 8,000-ish steps in the morning. And this was coming off a day where I walked almost 30,000 steps. I think the day before I walked 29,800-ish steps. So I didn't want to go crazy the next day. And I think I only walked around 8,000 steps in the morning. I didn't lift because I lifted the day prior. And I ended up going to lunch and went to get Chinese noodles, like these hand-pulled noodles, 2 different kinds, one with beef and one with chicken. Both were super good. And then I had an egg waffle after. And when it came to the bowls that I ate, I didn't eat a ton because I knew I was gonna be walking around after, so I didn't want to put too much in me. Afterwards, I walked around Toronto for a while. And by a while, I mean like, I think 3 or 4 hours worth of walking. I went to different neighborhoods. I just really wanted to check out the city. I did end up going to get coffee a little later, and I added some oat milk to it. Just wanted something with a little more flavor. Also, since I'm just eating whatever, it was like a special treat for me. Later in the evening though, I met up with some other family and I ended up going to a farmer's market, but I had walked a ton of steps by then. But at the farmer's market, it was the same kind of deal. Sometimes, you know, when you're eating with people that you haven't seen in a while, at least for me, I don't want to eat everything. I don't want people to be like, oh my God, he's just eating the entire time. So at the farmer's market, I got like a spinach pie, which is one of my favorite things to eat. And I don't see them around often. There's this one place in Chicago I love to get them, and I haven't been there in a minute. And it was the first thing that it reminded me of when I saw that a farmer's market was selling that. And then I had just a taco, like a al pastor taco. Both were pretty good, and just did a ton of walking. By the time it was like, I think 9 p.m., I had checked my phone and it had said I had walked over 35,000 steps. I had never walked that many, let alone that I walked almost 30,000 steps the day before. I think I ended the day with 36,300-ish steps. Let's talk about what I ate after I got back. So after all that walking, I came back here and there's just so many snacks here. And I mean, you could probably even see it, like I'm pointing at it. That's just like a whole thing of different chips and crackers and peanuts or whatever. I ended up grabbing more of those Sun Chips and I finished that entire bag of what was left. And then I was eating random Filipino desserts. And then before you knew it, I found fudge in the fridge and just, I ate, I don't know, it was a big thing of fudge. And then I called it quits there. If I had to guesstimate calories for that day, I mean, I don't even with all the carbs with the chips and everything, I didn't eat a ton beforehand. I would say my calories were maybe 4,000 max. Today, day 6, my legs are super tired, super tired. I knew it yesterday when I got back here. My feet didn't hurt. I thought they would have, but it's my legs. It's like sore in certain places. Anyway, this morning I weighed on the scale and I actually had dropped a little weight. I don't know if it's because of all the activity. I still don't think you can outstep a diet. I don't think I ate a ton yesterday. So maybe it evened itself out. So here we are, day 6. This morning I got up and I didn't walk to the gym. Instead, I got dropped off there. I lifted weights though. I forgot to take video of me lifting weights, but I pushed really heavy because I still ate quite a bit the day before. And then I walked home afterwards. I walked a couple miles. I think currently I'm right around 8,000 steps. I really want to take it easy because I don't want to push myself. Today's going to be more of a relaxed day. And then I haven't eaten yet, and I know we're all going out to lunch, so I'm looking forward to lunch. And I have no idea what dinner's gonna be, but I think we're probably going out for dinner too, because today's our last day here in Toronto. When I say our, I'm here with my mom, just FYI. Day 6 yesterday was pretty good eating-wise. The thing was, I was pretty tired. We ended up going to lunch, had Turkish food, and it was amazing. It was so good. I was trying really hard not to eat everything that was there because there were a lot of people eating as well. And I didn't really just want to take all the food, you know? So afterwards, went back to my family's place and they decided to go out and I decided to stay in. I really just wanted to relax for the day, and I just ended up snacking on everything. I was eating on chips, I was eating on whatever Filipino desserts were there, and I overate. I don't know if I could even put a number calorie-wise. Maybe probably close to 10,000 if I had to guess. Literally just the entire day just snacking on whatever. So I'll give you a rundown after I got home to Chicago. We got delayed in Toronto for, I think it was almost 2 hours, which was super annoying. But on the airplane, they offered a drink and cookies or a pretzel. I ended up getting the Biscoff cookies, but I didn't eat it. I told myself I'd go ahead and continue to fast. I think I had another Diet Dr. Pepper. Once I landed in Chicago, and then I actually ended up going to a Starbucks because I needed to get some work done. That's essentially when I broke my fast. I ended up having, it was a vanilla sweet cream cold brew or whatever it's called. I don't know, I really like it. I don't have it often. It was something that I said, go ahead, right? You're on quote unquote vacation, this is your last day. I also ended up getting a bagel with cream cheese, which was just a good filling way. Not the most nutrient-dense foods. It isn't what I typically eat after breaking a fast. But like I said, just it was gonna be my last day where I got to treat myself a little differently. And after working, I was initially going to do all you can eat sushi, but I decided to go to all you can eat hot pot. And it was amazing as usual. This is one of those rotary all you can eat hot pots where you get your own hot pot, you pick whatever broth you want, and then I was just tossing in a bunch of vegetables, eating a bunch of prime rib, mussels, shrimp, just throwing everything in there. I don't even know how much I ate, but really got the calories in. I wouldn't be surprised if I was over 10,000 calories, maybe not just in that hot pot, but for the entire day. Because at this place too, they also give you cheesecake for dessert if you want, as much as you want, and they have some collaboration with the Cheesecake Factory, so I know that the cheesecake they have is not only amazing, but it's super calorie dense. I had 2 slices of that cheesecake and I almost got a third, and then I told myself, don't. So going back home, I decided that I would still eat whatever, and I ended up making ice cream with the creamy. It was already frozen, but I added a bunch of Biscoff cookies that I had stashed away and kind of indulged in that moment. So the next day when I weighed in at 151 pounds even. So it was about a 11 pound gain in 7 days. And I believe most of that weight gain came on the last day, or at least not the weight gain, but the calories I ate. I felt like the heaviest amount of calories I ate was on the last day of eating 7 days in a row. And that's not uncommon. That's something that I have done in the past. You can say, well, Jerome, why do that? Why eat that much? I don't know. I think that's just something I enjoy doing. I also told myself that's my 20%, right? That's going to be one of those days where I'm not going to be too strict about what I'm doing. And also the fact that I was just going to go ahead and hop back on an ADF instead of fasting for 3 days or 4 days. Not that I couldn't if I wanted to, but I really want to prove to myself that ADF does work, fasting for shorter, getting to eat more often, and controlling my calories. And then here we are today. So I'm talking to you right now, 20 plus hours fasted, when I was 151 yesterday. And then this morning I weighed in at 145 even. That's a 6 pound drop. That's 6 pounds gone of the 11 pounds that I put on. 6 pounds, mostly water. So now I'm 5 pounds up. I was 139.8 on day 1, and on day 7, or after eating for 7 days in a row, pushed my weight up to 151. But it was so temporary. Not even 24 hours later, I'm down to 145 pounds. And then the plan after this is I fasted yesterday, I break today, fast tomorrow, break the next day. Continue doing ADF, continue to watch the scale go down. My guess is I will probably find myself back at 140 even, where I originally was as I continue to lose weight. I think I'll probably be back there, I don't know, maybe in a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. If it's longer, that's fine. But the thing that hasn't changed as I've been doing this is, regardless of me eating back-to-back days, it didn't stop me from walking. It didn't stop me from going to the gym. In fact, being able to eat that often really pushed me. It encouraged me to go to the gym even more so that I can push heavy weights. For me, that's kind of the big thing that came out of it. It gave me the opportunity to say, you have all those calories in you, you have a lot of energy in you, you might as well go push hard at the gym, and that's exactly what I did. I took advantage of that. Instead of saying, well, you're on vacation, why walk? Why be mindful about anything? Why go to the gym and lift weights? When for me, it's like, well, I have nothing else to do. I might as well go to the gym. I might as well go get a walk in. I might as well go get some extra steps. It is a completely different mindset than what I used to have in the past. And I owe a lot of that to showing up every day. I owe a lot of that to continuing to progress on my journey, to realize that this isn't just about fasting. This is about so many other pieces of being happy and healthy.